Welcome back to the Golden Takes channel. Now, I think last year I did a video like this where I reacted to OSN's top 10, I think, with a couple of my friends, and that's what we did. So this year he posted OSN posted another top 50. So this time, instead of me going live and making a compilation of that, I'm gonna just react to it and record it and show here. So I put up on the screen top 50 NBA players. I'm gonna like it. Gotta do like that's what y'all should do, by the way. Y'all should like, also subscribe. We're on the road to 200 subscribers. So let's see what OS has to say.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and mother effing girls. The Olympics were almost over to record this video because I originally had Tatum over LeBron.
And that's I'm gonna stop right there. So when we're looking at top 50 NBA players, I'm looking at just NBA wise. I'm not going to use the Olympics to make something up my standard because the Olympics play totally different. By that standard, if he has Joel Embiid top three, or like if he has Joel Embiid top three over any of the players that play that well, I'm gonna criticize him because Joel Embiid did not play well at all in the Olympics. So he better not have Joel Embiid anywhere near the top three. I already know LeBron is number one, so I don't care about that. But Joel Embiid better not be above Curry, above Devin Booker. No, he'd be above Devin Booker, Anthony Edwards, but he better not be above Curry or above another player that played better in the Olympics. That's all I'm gonna say. But this is already off to a terrible start because you're using the Olympics to evaluate your list. Okay.
Bogdanovich is one of the people that originally was not on this list, but then after watching the Olympics, he got added on this list. I felt like I just had to throw him on here. I couldn't throw him any higher than this because I got Derek White after that.
Right? See, this is what I mean when evaluating the Olympics. There is no world where I'm not a big Darius Garland fan. I think that he needs improvement in a lot of areas. But there is no world where Bogdanovich is better than Darius Garland. The only reason why you do that is because you watch the Olympics and you watch how Bogdan fit in that system. And of course, he can fit in that system better than other players because he's used to playing overseas and in that environment. Bogdan Bogdanovic, when we're evaluating NBA players, is not better than Darius Garland.
I don't think Zach LaVine has so much offense. Kuz was, believe it or not, 27th in the league in scoring with 22.3, I think. So he probably should have been a little bit higher than 52, but I'm not sure who he's better than. Out of these other
see, and that's a problem. And that's a problem. That is a big problem. When we're evaluating players, we have to add context to what they're doing. Yes, Kyle Kuzma averaged 22 points, but he did it on 8 attempts, on 8 out of 18 attempts. So on 18 attempts, he averaged 22 points from 46% from the field and 33% from the three-point line and 77% from the free throw. Yes, Kyle Kuzma averaged 22 points. Yes, of course he did. But that's because he's on the team with Jordan Poole. Him and Jordan Poole are these top two players. So of course he's going to average more points than he should have. Kyle Kuzma is not better than Zach LaVine. That's a dumb take.
Just a notch better than Chet, but I think that Jalen Williams has a chance to go as high as maybe 40 on this list. I think Jalen Williams is on the rise. I do have DeJounte Murray slightly ahead of Jalen Williams, but I think that when the 2025 season will be.
Hey, this is funny. This is funny when OSN does these lists because, like OSN, we know that when a player is above them by one number grade, we understand that they're barely better than them or they're slightly better than them. You shouldn't have to keep on saying I have DeJounte Murray slightly above Jalen Williams. Yeah, we know because DeJounte Murray is 48, Jalen Williams 49. OSN, we're not stupid.
Goon the slight edge over Jaren Jackson. Just because, I've watched Sengun play a little bit more than Jaren Jackson, and Sengun looked pretty good. He's not bad.
See, this is the problem. It's the problem. See, he's not making any credible, like, nothing. He's not saying anything. He has Jaren Jackson, Rudy Gobert, which is not honestly that bad of a take. It's not really bad of a take. I think Rudy Gobert's offensive limitations gets overblown a lot, but is what it is. He literally said, "I think Sengun is better than Jaren Jackson because I watched more Sengun." If that's the case, I think Curry is better than Jokic. I watch all the Warriors games. No, you have to evaluate what you're watching.
We put Harden at 39, Laurie at 38. I mean, so far, I think my list is 100% spot on. Like I said, I've spent months on this, so I feel very confident in this list.
You didn't spend months on this, Wilson. You didn't spend months on this. Because if you spent months, you would have realized that you have Desmond Bane higher than he should be. You have Mikal Bridges, and the thing that what is like insane is that he keeps on using recency bias. Why are you saying, oh yeah, Franz Wagner wasn't on the list until the Olympics, which is crazy to say because you're saying, and I'm not saying he didn't play in the Olympics, he did, but he played so good in the Olympics that you put him at 41. Hey, I'm not fixated about it, but I don't think he's better than Mikal Bridges right now. I think he will eventually. It just depends on if Franz Wagner can be what Mikal was supposed to be as number one option, which I don't think Franz can by Apollo, but that's different day. I think Mikal Bridges is better than Franz Wagner in my opinion, but I mean, it's what it is. I mean, they're really close. I don't think the people that he has are like insanely out of the picture. I think Chet is better than some players he has. But I mean, I don't think this is like insanely bad. It just his reasonings suck. It's not insanely bad right now. I think it'll be worse later on.
Okay. At 37, I have Damian Lillard, and at 36.
Okay, this will be your problem. I don't know who he has above Dame, but this is about to be a problem. I already know it.
I have Julius Randle.
Okay, so yep. Okay, so yeah, this is a problem. There is no world. There is no realm, no possibility where Julius Randle is better than Damian Lillard. Even if you want to say Damian Lillard did fall off this season, yes, he did. And I said that in my Milwaukee Bucks video when I was talking about the playoffs. I said Damian Lillard dropped off, and he did. But there is no world where Julius Randle is better than Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard, yes, he did fall off. He did fall off. He doesn't have no defense. Still, is still a good average playmaker. I think he's good. He's still a great three-point shooter, a great shot creator, and knows how to get to the rim and get to his spots. He's still efficient. Julius Randle, again, not efficient player. Horrible in the playoffs. Doesn't know, takes the Julius Randle. If you watch Julius Randle play, you will get frustrated because he takes insane shots. And if you're hot and they go in, that's great. But when you're not hot and you're trying to make these uncomfortable shots, you're not going to make them. And then plus, you're not good in the playoffs at all. And if we say last season, biggest thing, last season he used injuries when he was talking about Zach LaVine. Julius Randle was injured most season last season. So what are we even talking about? How is Dame 37? If he would have had Dame in the 20s, I would have been like, you know what? That's not that bad. 20s. If he would have had like high 30s, you know what? I'm not going to disagree that much. But having him 37 below Julius Randle,
a lot of people had Julius Randle a lot lower on their list, more like the 40 range.
Because he is.
But I think that Julius Randle deserves to be 36. I think Julius Randle is good. He gets injured a lot. I'm hoping he's not injured this year. When he's not injured, I think he's a notch better than Dame, Laurie, and
then he did the same thing again. He's a notch. Of course, you think he's a notch better than Damian Lloyd. They're two ahead of him. He's lying. He's literally lying. When Julius Randle is injured, they don't play that much better. They really don't. I don't know what he's talking about. The last time he was in the playoffs, he was healthy. He averaged 16 points. Last time they was in the playoffs and he was healthy, he averaged 16 points. Like, I don't know what we're talking about right now. I don't know if he's just like only looking at him playing the regular season because Julius Randle, I'm not going to say he's like a horrible player. Like him getting all-star nods, him being in like, when he got most improved, it's not that bad. But when you're playing in the playoffs, you're not that good. Against Miami, he had 2 20-point games where he was plus minus. He has 3 games where he's 0 plus minus, plus -1, -6. He takes over 13 shots. There's a game I see this game too right now where he's 4 for 15, 26% from the field, 0 from 3-point line. Like, what am I looking at? He is no. I honestly think for the Knicks to be able to make the next leap, be to trade Julius Randle because no, he's not going to the playoffs. He's not going to the playoffs. No.
And at 32, I have Dennis Schroeder. Schroeder was not on this list. I did not have Dennis Schroeder.
Please, somebody help this man. I know he said he was high when the video started. He was high in making this video. There is no way you have a player in Dennis Schroeder. You have a player in Dennis Schroeder. And you have him higher than players who are like the best player on their team, getting all-star nods and just obviously better. I've said it before on the channel, but I don't think that if you're a designated role player, not a player that's stuck in a role that is really a good player, but if you're like Dennis Schroeder, who is a perennial backup point guard, like when you're a player like that, there is no realm or universe that you're better than players who are the best player on their team. You're just not. So by definition, Dennis Schroeder really should be on this list, but Dennis Schroeder should not be higher than De'Aaron Fox, Brandon Ingram, LaMelo, especially Dame. Even though I don't like Julius Randle, Julius is better than him. James Harden is better than Dennis Schroeder. You're putting a player that's a perennial role player who hasn't had a definite role since he was on the Los Angeles Lakers. But guess what? He was traded to the Brooklyn Nets because he wasn't that good. Like you spent months on this list, but you put Dennis Schroeder 32. Like that doesn't even make sense to me. And the thing about that is that you put the starting player on his team below him. Mikal Bridges is better than Dennis Schroeder because guess what? They was on the same team and Mikal Bridges produced more and was the definite first option. Now, I'm not saying Mikal Bridges is just a first option. I don't think he's a first type of player, but he's definitely better than Dennis Schroeder.
My top 56. But I remember last year when they were doing like the little World Cup shit or whatever they were doing, I remember Dennis Schroeder was going absolutely crazy on Germany. And then this year, he is, again, the best player on Germany, who is the second best team. So I think we have to put some respect on Dennis Schroeder's name. So I got Dennis Schroeder at 32.
Okay, so I just want to make sure. Is this an Olympics list or is this a NBA list? Because, OSM, yes, Dennis Schroeder played good in the Olympics. Yes, Dennis Schroeder played good last year in the Olympics when the World Cup, the select team. You do realize that this is the NBA players, right? Dennis Schroeder in the NBA is a role player. He's a perennial backup point guard. And the thing about it is, no, I'll never give you leeway. There is no leeway about it. Like Dennis Schroeder, yes, he played good in Germany. Yes, he played good in the Olympics. That's great. That's amazing. Fantastic. But Dennis Schroeder is not better than these players NBA-wise. We're doing top 50 NBA players, and I'm assuming you're based on last season, but your criteria keep on changing. You're based on the Olympics. You're basing it on people getting injured because you put Zach LaVine 53 because you said he was injured, but yet you have LaMelo over Julius Randle and Dame, even though he's injured a lot. Doesn't make sense to me. And then you're having these players over them because of what reason? You're not making no certified claim. The only claims you're making is about the Olympics. And Dennis Schroeder, yes, he played in the Olympics, but NBA-wise, no. NBA-wise, no. Dennis Schroeder is not 32. He's not better than Brandon Ingram, who is the second option on a New Orleans Pelicans team. He's a better shot creator, better mid-range shooter, better slasher, better everything. De'Aaron Fox, better defender, better slasher, is the number one option on a team. Like I don't think I have to explain more. LaMelo Ball, a better playmaker. Like the number one option on his team. Even though I don't like Julius Randle is a all-star type of player. Damian Lillard is a all-star type of player. Lauri Markkanen is a all-star type of player. You're putting a perennial role player over all-stars. And then but you put Karl-Anthony Towns above him though. You put Karl-Anthony Towns though. Like,
and I feel good about that placement. I mean, in the regular season, is he better than Dame and Lauri and Julius Randle? Probably not. But I mean, when it matters in the World Cup, I don't know if the niggas can do what Dennis is doing. I would have to see it. Like he's amazing right now.
That's a dumb argument. That's just a dumb argument. That's just a stupid argument. That's just a stupid argument. That's not a good argument for you having a perennial role player over all-stars. You're saying because of the way that he played recently in an environment that he's used to that is different from the NBA, he's better than players that when it comes to the best basketball organization in the world, even though he's worse than them there, but because he's better overseas, that's why. That's just a stupid argument. That's a dumb argument. That's just stupid. That's just a dumb argument.
Be around the same spot next year. And then at 26, I have Paolo.
So there's two problems. There's two glaring elephants that I think everybody can see. First, I'm gonna talk about my favorite player, which is sarcasm because I hate this guy. DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan. No. The thing that overrates DeMar so much, and which is really a problem with the NBA community, is how beautiful he plays. DeMar DeRozan has an amazing mid-range game. The mid-range game is one of the most beautiful things to watch. But DeMar DeRozan is not that efficient. DeMar DeRozan comes to the playoffs, falls off. DeMar DeRozan is old, and nobody wanted him so badly that he took an option with the Kings that I think will make them at least a smidget better, but not that much better because DeMar DeRozan is not a good three-point shooter, not a good defender. He's a better playmaker than what people give him, and he's a good mid-range shooter. That's it. That's it. He's not better than De'Aaron Fox. And then you have Domantas Sabonis. I think Trae Young is one of the most underrated players right now, which is insane because a couple years ago I was saying he was overrated because he really was. But I think Trae Young is one of the most underrated players right now. Trae Young is the definition of consistency. This last season, Trae Young, while being an all-star, averaged 25.7 points, 43 on 43, 37, 85 splits. And the thing is, like, okay, that's a lot of shots for a player like him. But the reason why he's taking those shots is because he is the best, he is the player on the team. But even with having those shots, he's averaging 10, almost 11 assists. So Trae Young, while shooting a bunch of shots, yes, is still making them at an efficient clip. And then also almost having 11 assists on a team that I don't know if I know this, but a team that didn't make the playoffs and a team that's just relatively not good. They went 36 and 46 last season, and he was able to average 11 assists. But Sabonis, who's not even the best player on his team, so I don't know how De'Aaron Fox is above him, because yes, Sabonis is consistent, but I don't know if you've seen it, but I seen it. Sabonis is not that good in the playoffs. I seen it. I don't know if you did it, but I seen it because I actually watched basketball OSN. You just like do a little bit of research. You don't really watch it. There is no realm or universe where Sabonis is better than De'Aaron Fox. De'Aaron Fox is number one option on his championship team. He's a better defender. He's a better shooter. He knows how to get the rim better. He's more efficient. Better in the playoffs. Like just a better player than Sabonis. I don't know what that take is. And Trae Young should be 28. Trae Young should be higher. Trae Young is becoming one of the most underrated players. I think so. I really do.
I'm stopping right there. I will drop the top 25 after these last few games of the Olympics end.
Whatever. Go to the video. I don't care. That was just stupid. I don't think you can say anything else. Yeah, he's probably putting it wrong. Okay, top that. Other 25.
And work my way up. Fuck that. We're not doing that this time. We're starting from number one. The first time I ever did a list, we started from number one. Now, I just want to say one thing before we hop into this list. Well, two things. First thing, I have been working on this list for months now. This is
You're lying. Number one's LeBron James. Please stop milking it.
not something I just made last week or a few weeks ago. When
You made it 2 weeks ago.
Season ended, I crafted my list. Second thing, I feel like the high that you're on will dictate this list a lot.
Okay, so he's talking a lot. I'm gonna cut a little bit of it. What he's basically saying is he used recency bias to dictate his list. You have a Luka number one is actually not a bad take. That's actually better. You have a LeBron number one. But that's the thing. That's the thing about people who don't watch basketball for real. When you use recency bias to dictate your list, that's how you have no consistency. You have no foundation. When I'm watching basketball, the definitive best player in the NBA is dictated by certain criteria. Now, I think it's Nikola Jokic because of the way that he's able to dictate the game with his playmaking. He's also an amazing post scorer and he's also a very underrated defender. And he's just able to generate that in the playoffs and have success throughout it. So when I have Jokic number one, it's for a certain reason and criteria. Now, if he would have played bad this season, would have fell off, then obviously that will bring him down. But I'm doing it based on this NBA season. I'm not gonna allow the Olympics to glare my eyes out and realize that LeBron James is in the NBA. Because no, LeBron James is not the best player in the NBA. LeBron's the best player when he was in the Olympics, yes, but he's not the best player in the NBA. So, no. And you having Tatum that high anyway is actually insane because even if Tatum would have played well in the NBA Finals, I know that he won that due to certain circumstances that other players do not have. So no, even if you would make this list, if you just make this list after the NBA Finals, they would have published it. He would have been in the minority having Tatum above Curry and LeBron James because having over LeBron not that bad of a take, but having him over Curry is insane. That's not true. He needs to hurry start the list. Stop talking because I want to know about this list. LeBron's number one, though, obviously.
So this is post-Olympic list right now, basically, right now. All right, let's do it. Number one, I got wait, what I got number one? Yeah, number one, I got LeBron.
Yeah,
I couldn't remember.
No, you
I think on my first one, I had Jokic or Luka. I don't know. I did a lot of switching around. But number one, I have LeBron. And number two, I have Curry. Now, had Curry not did what he did in those Olympics, I wouldn't have put Curry at number two. Because what we watched from Curry throughout the 2024 season was not dominance. But what I saw in the Olympics is that there's still nobody better than him. That when it matters and you got all the best people, he's still better than all of them. I take it a step further. He was better than LeBron, but it's LeBron, so I'm putting LeBron at number one. And LeBron was more consistent, but Curry was balling his ass off. So at three, I have Jokic. But I got Jokic. I mean, some people might argue Jokic should be higher, but I think that's a good spot for him. At four, I got Luka. I'm giving Luka the slight edge over Giannis. Even though Luka didn't really do that much in the Olympics and got bounced out fast as hell, I'm still giving Luka the slight edge over Giannis just based off of the 2024 season and me knowing for sure that Luka can still get better. So at number 6, I have Jason Tatum. And at number 7, I have Kevin Durant. And Embiid didn't do anything in the Olympics. So
thank you. Okay, finally, OSN has a sense of something of consistency. Oh my God. Finally, it's a lick of consistency. Just a little bit of it. Finally. Because you are so inconsistent that it just doesn't make sense. I don't know what his criteria is. That's what's pissing me off. But what I'm assuming his criteria is based on the Olympics, injuries, and based on what you did last season. Now, in his own words, he said that Curry played better than LeBron. In the Olympics, I don't think he did. I think that Curry played better than the last couple of games in the Olympics, but not consistently. But the only thing that he has consistent is the fact he has Embiid below the players that play in the Olympics. But if you're based off the Olympics, why is Kevin Durant not higher? I'm not saying, in my opinion, should be, but based on his criteria, Kevin Durant should not be 7. Kevin Durant should be higher than Tatum and Giannis because Durant played better in the Olympics, especially when he came out of his injury. He went perfect. And he also was consistent and won a gold medal. So based on your criteria, Weston, why is Durant not higher than Tatum and Giannis? And probably Luka and Jokic, to be honest. I mean, based on your criteria, LeBron, Curry, and KD should be 1, 2, and 3. Based on them being consistent, them playing great in the Olympics, and them being there when it matters. Based on your criteria. But then again, Weston is probably high making his list right now.
Just a notch better. Embiid just has so much offense. I honestly think that Embiid has maybe, I don't know, man. I was going to say the second most offense on this list behind Luka. Like, Embiid has a lot of offense. But
Jokic.
Then I start thinking about Curry. I don't know. But Embiid is up there as far as offense is concerned. I think Anthony Davis is more reliable. He's more clutch. He's all around better. You know, he can give you more in different spots. And he played better in the Olympics. So I'm not sure why I'm putting Embiid ahead.
I don't know why either. You just explained your criteria. Why is Embiid? Why is Anthony Davis over Embiid? Why? You was consistent for a second and now you're not. Like, I don't know why you don't have Davis over Embiid. I mean, based on your criteria, not mine. Based on your criteria, Anthony Davis should be better than Embiid. He should be. But then again, OSN's making his list.
I got to give him the edge, Ja.
Can't stand when he does that. We know.
If Anthony Edwards and John Morant played one-on-one, I think Anthony Edwards will win.
Then he's adding another basis to his point. Now we're doing 1v1s? Clark?
But there's no fucking such thing as one-on-one. So if we're just talking about in basketball games, John Morant seems better.
So why do you have Anthony?
Yeah, John Morant. It's statement time. It's time to let niggas know what's up. But for now, I'm giving Anthony Edwards the edge. I'm giving him the edge. I'm sorry. At 12, I have Shy, whatever his name is.
And here is where the disrespect comes. I don't know. I haven't really made it on this channel. I haven't really made a video on John Morant, but I scrapped it because I think John Morant is one of the most overrated young players that we know now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is better than John Morant. I think he's better than Anthony Edwards as well. And I think he might be better than Anthony Davis. But the thing that what gets misconstrued about Ja is how electric he is. Ja is insanely athletic and is efficient around the rim. Yes, he's a good playmaker, but that defense is crazy and that shooting is crazy. He's not efficient when it comes to shooting, and he's not a good defender. He's also not consistently on the floor because guess what? He's injured. But you only use that criteria for certain players, so I'm not going to bring any arguments or whatever. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander almost won MVP. He's the best player on the best team in the Western Conference. He's a good defender. He's efficient, knows how to shoot, knows how to get to the spot. He's an underrated playmaker. I don't think he's like great, amazing, excellent, but I think he's better than what people give him. Shai's just better than John Morant. I think Shai's better than Anthony Edwards, but John and Anthony Edwards have more media attention than Shai because they're more electrifying. They're just more charismatic, and due to that, they're rated higher on basketball tier lists than they should be. You have casuals like OSN that has Anthony Edwards and John Morant over Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. That's a crime, and that should be even should be a conversation, but it is what it is.
I think that my placement is 100% right.
I mean, I would assume that it's something right. You made this list, but then again, you don't know if Anthony Edwards better than Ja. You don't know if Embiid is better than Anthony Davis. So, like, I don't.
One off. Like, my next person is Devin Booker. Devin Booker might be better than Shai, but I don't think that any, not one person above Shai is better than him. Not a one.
See, and this is where I'm not a Devin Booker like caper. I'm not a Devin Booker like super fan. I'm really not. But Devin Booker is also underrated as well. And I mean, it's not his fault. I mean, Devin Booker is on a team that isn't that good right now. And you have Kevin Durant on your team. So when you have Kevin on your team, you're obviously going to take less shots. And I mean, it's Kevin Durant. People are going to watch this game for him than you. But Devin Booker is actually really underrated when it comes to these certain like conversations. I think Devin Booker is better than Ja. I think somebody else should be part of this list. He's probably gonna say him later. I think Ja is too high if you can based off a thing. I don't think Ja's top 11. I don't. I just don't think Ja belongs in this conversation. I'm sorry, but he does not. Ja Morant is one of the most overrated young players in the NBA. He is. Ja Morant does not belong in this conversation at all. I'm sorry. Anthony Edwards is too high. I think Anthony Edwards had an amazing last season. I think he did. But I think that we're overrating that season more than it needs to be, in my opinion. I think Shea and Devin Booker should be where they are. I think Shea should be higher, honestly. But I mean, it is what it is. Ja Morant is. I mean, I know last year he always said overrated Ja Morant a lot, so I kind of expected that. Same with LeBron. I kind of expected him to suck, but it's just kind of crazy that you like are saying there's just not at all. There's just no chance, even though Shea. If you don't think Devin Booker is, Shea is better than Ja and Anthony Edwards. It's just no question about that.
Yeah, I can't really put you any higher than that. And I feel like even that placement was kind of generous. A lot of the placement, a lot of that, the reason you're at 15, a lot of that is off of defense. Because like the next 3-4 niggas I'm about to name all got more offense than you. Every last one of them. But you got more defense than them, and you might be younger than all of them too. Next up, I have Paul George, Kyrie Irving.
Too high.
Donovan Mitchell.
That's what I was talking about that he missed. And I'm gonna let him keep going.
And Jaylen Brown. What do we? How we feel about that?
Jaylen Brown is worse than all of them. Jaylen. Man, the Celtics are funny. The Celtics are funny. What people fail to realize is the Celtics constructed a perfect team. They made such a good team that it hides the flaws of their two best players. You literally said, OSN said he has more defense than them and he's younger. That's why he's better than some of these players. I'm sorry to tell you, yes, Jaylen Brown is a good defender, but he's not that good as you think he is. Jaylen Brown still has no left hand. Like, I don't know how you're an NBA player, you get trainers, you have no left hand. I don't know what that is about. But Jaylen Brown has no left hand. Jaylen Brown is also inconsistent, but he won the Finals VP. Yes, he won the Finals VP, even though she won Jason Tatum. I understand that. But Jaylen Brown inconsistencies is hidden by the Celtics' great team. And if you think I'm lying, you can go to when it was last in the NBA Finals. You can go to last season when it was in the playoffs. I made a video talking about the Boston Celtics and why it was a problem that y'all even paid Jaylen Brown. Obviously, it's a bad take now. I mean, y'all won an NBA championship, whoop-de-doo. But it still is an insane contract to give to a player that has all these flaws, and you're making the highest paid player, which I don't think is going to last long due to all this money the NBA is getting. I think it's going to last like next season. It's probably going to change, so it doesn't matter. But still, at the time, it was a bad take. You know, it is what it is. But I don't think Jaylen Brown is better than some of these players, especially number 18. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is.
I think Donovan is a notch better than Jalen Brunson.
We know, because when is 18 was 19?
Just
Stop saying that. Stop saying that. Please.
Just a notch. You want to give Brunson the edge over Donovan Mitchell? I'm not mad at that.
I mean,
you want to give Brunson the edge over Kyrie? I wouldn't be mad at that either. I wouldn't do it, but if you want to do it, fine.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. I didn't even notice that. Thank you, OSF, for bringing my attention. Kyrie's too high. Why is Kyrie 17? If you're basing on last season, you know how Kyrie played in the finals? I mean, I know how Kyrie played in the finals. I just don't know if you know how he played in the finals. So if you're basing off the finals, he played bad. I mean, I'm assuming it's recency bias for you because you're basing this off the Olympics.
Let's change it then. I mean, listen, by the end of this season, Wemby was going to be better than Halliburton anyway, so I'm not really going to make that big of a deal about it. I haven't looked at their numbers, but now I'm going to, just because you guys pissed me off and everybody's trying to make it seem like that was a stupid question. And
it's your list. It's your list. If you think Halliburton's better than Wemby, put Halliburton better. It's your list. It's not the fans.
Either way, we'll give Wemby the edge. I don't really care.
I mean, you shouldn't. I mean, based on what you've been saying recently, 18, 19, I think they're slightly better, so it doesn't matter. You can put whatever you want to put above. So, I mean, it shouldn't matter to you. But it's your list. If you think Halliburton is better, put him over Wemby.
And then at 25, I have Bam.
All right, so before I go ahead, let me just say, I'm here for the Wemby Glaze. That's all I'm gonna say. I am here for the Wemby Glaze. Hey, Wemby being 20, I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Hey, because I think Wemby is going to be a top 20 player by the end of the season. I think he'll be 20 or above. I don't think y'all see what I'm seeing. I don't think that's Wemby Glaze. I think that's just. I just think that y'all are not realizing what y'all are seeing, and then when he finally gets almost done, you're gonna realize Wemby was this good. Wemby was sensational his second half of that season. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm here for the Wemby Glaze. So Wemby being 20, not mad at that. I'm here for the Wemby Glaze. Kawhi being 24 makes sense. I mean, Kawhi is consistently injured, not consistently playing up to par. I've always said that if Kawhi has a perfect, healthy season, he's top 10 automatically. But I just don't think he's having that. So Kawhi 24, not mad at that. Bam 25, not bad at that. Jamal Murray, I'm glad he put him there. I think Bam might be better than Jamal Murray in my opinion, but I don't think that's an insane take. But I think Bam is better than Jamal Murray. Zion there is what it is. Halliburton is what it is. I think Halliburton being better than Donovan Mitchell is not an insane take. If you think Mitchell's better than Halliburton, it's because of the scoring factor and the fact that Mitchell can also semi-playmake, but he needs a playmaker near him. I think Halliburton is a pass-first guard. I think that when he played in the cup that the NBA has where Lakers won, I think he played sensational and that showed a flash of what he can be. I think just be consistent with that so people understand how he really is. But the only problem I had with him, with OSN, was his consistency. He's inconsistent. First, he evaluated off Olympics, but you have Durant 7. Doesn't make sense. If you're doing the Olympics, Durant should be top 3. He based some players off of not being injured. Like, for example, he had Zach LaVine 53 because of being injured, but yet you have LaMelo on certain players. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand. Ja is overrated. I'm going to say it again. Shea should be top 10 minimum. He should be top 10. He's better than Anthony Edwards and Ja. I don't know why Ja gives me so much. He's a shooter. The only thing OSN has a problem with is just his inconsistency. OSN is just so inconsistent that you can't base the criteria off of. The thing is that if people have a list, I can disagree with you, but if it fits your criteria, then it is what it is. You may have a stupid way of evaluating basketball, but that's how you evaluate basketball. I can't be mad at you for that. But when you evaluate basketball inconsistently, where you have like 15 different criteria, it's hard for somebody to even give you any type of like edge or nod or even like try to give you some push-up. Because, I mean, his list is better than last year's because last year you had LeBron number 1 and it was obviously not LeBron James. So, I mean, his list isn't bad as last year's, but his list is still not that good. OSN, I don't know why you keep on making these lists. These lists suck. But hey, it is what it is. I mean, that's the name of the game. I mean, you make your list every year, and people like me watch it and make videos out of. So, I mean, hey, you're getting your money and you're getting your views. I have no hate towards OSN. I watch Max. He's very entertaining. I just think this is just strictly basketball. No hate towards OSN. It is what it is, man. OSN, you know, you took months on this list. You took months.